Welcome to Coding with Tom. Today we will be displaying a view controller in a different transition than model or push. We'll be displaying it with a sliding transition from the left. Let's first add our dummy view controller. I'm gonna call it profile, but in reality we won't be displaying any data. It's just a view that we'll use to present. Here's our view. As I told you, nothing will happen here. Nothing happens when the user taps on sign out or anything. Let's add a storyboard ID so we can instantiate it. And now let's add a control in our dashboard view so that we can present this view. Let's try seeing what we have now. So we have our view. When we tap on the bottom, we get our profile and we cannot get up. Now let's add our slide in view controller so that we can have a custom transition for this view controller and also have a way to dismiss it. We will use a view controller to handle this. The background color would be black, but with an alpha component, so we can see what's behind this view. And we'll add a gesture so that when we tap on this dimmed view, we dismiss the controller. And now we have our dismiss gesture. So the view controller that we're going to present, we're going to change its model presentation to custom, and then we will assign it a transition in Delegate. Now a transition in Delegate will provide a UI view controller animated transitioning. So let's create another class for that. Now let's wait on the transition, but for now we know that we need the view width, and we will initialize our class with that. Let's change things up a little bit. Instead of presenting it from the dashboard view controller, we're going to let the sliding view controller handle everything and present itself. Now we can provide an animation for dismissing and presenting. In this case, we're going to do it for presenting. So we're going to ask for our destination view, which is with the keyword to. And then what we're going to do for our sliding transition is just playing with the transform by translating it in the x-axis using the view width that we were passed in the initializer. It is important at the end of our animations to tell the transition context that we are done animating. I almost ran the project, but I just realized that we are missing the method to add the controller that we're going to embed in the sliding view controller. The embedded view controller will have a width of 70% so that we can show the dim background view on the right. Let's try running it now. So we get our slide transition. Now notice that we tapped on the profile and that dismissed the view. That's one problem. And the other one is that if we tap again on the profile button, we won't get another view displayed. To solve the first issue, what we're going to do is add the gesture to a different UI view that we're going to create, and we're going to add it along the embedded view controller, and we'll just use the remaining 30% of the width to add that view. Now notice that nothing happens when we tap on our profile, but it does dismiss when we tap on our dimmed view. Another thing that you may have noticed is that for dismissing, we're still getting the default dismiss animation where the controller is sliding down. For that, we need to change our animation so that it adapts to being presented and dismissed. So for that, we're going to add another flag. And depending on if we are being dismissed or not, we're going to change the translation of the view. And how do we know if we're being dismissed or not? Well, the transition in Delegate has two methods. One is for presented and the other one is for dismissing. If we try now, let's present, you'll see that we get our transition both ways. We do have a bug, but at least we now have the animation of the transition nailed down. First, for the sake of order, let's clean up this transition. I'm going to create two different methods, and depending on if we're being dismissed or not, then I'll call that animation. Let's also run in iPad to highlight another issue that we have right now. And not only are we stacking the view, notice what happens when I present in portrait and I change to landscape mode. We're not even using the entire width of the screen. To solve all of the issues that are remaining, we just need to change how we are initializing this view controller. We just need to not make it lazy. Instead, each time that we're going to present it, we create this view controller. There's no reason to keep it in memory, actually. And now each time we're presenting, it has the updated views and it's not stacking up the dim background view, and it's working. Let's switch the orientation and it still works. It adapts. And that was all for today. Using animated transition in controller, it's very easy to control the animations of our transitions. Hope you liked it. Bye.